What do I do then, Mum?
Well, then you return the almond mix to the saucepan. Now, the next bit is a little...
Mum? Mum, can you hear me?
Oh, now where was I? Now, take the dolls you used to play with. They had funny faces, didn't they? Just like real people, only smaller.
If your usual source of information lets you down, use the next best thing. bbc.co.uk from BBCI. Know how.
Remember when Anne Robinson asked one of the Weakest Link contestants which type of animal builds dams, and the startled response was, sheep? I wonder if there'll be any gems like that today. 5:15 on BBC Two.
Merry. Christmas. Days away now, guys. Days away. Have you got your prezzies sorted out?
I haven't done anything yet.
No?
No, not a thing.
Oh,
no.
Well. Sometimes people leave it to the last minute.
That's me.
Probably Christmas Eve or something like that. What about wine? What wine are you going to have?
Fern's going to get a box of chocolates from the local service station.
Exactly. Yeah, I love quality street for you.
And a bunch of half-the carnations. She's worth more. I'm shopping.
Oh, no. Don't listen to him, no.
No, don't listen to him at all, Fernie. Now, what about wine, guys? Because we've got a couple of wine experts on the show. Do you know what wine you're buying?
Yes, I do. I know a fair bit about wine. I wouldn't say I know as much as Ross, but I know what I like to drink.
Yeah, sure. And what about you're quite knowledgeable then?
Yeah, I've got a bit of... Well, it's a good time to drink up. You know, sometimes you have wine and it's just too good to drink. Well, nonsense. This is the time to drink. I've got a good bit of claret put away.
Well, let's meet the first of our experts, ladies and gentlemen. She comes from southwest London and her name is Naomi Gooding. How you doing? Pleased to meet you. Welcome to the show. Come and meet.
Hello, my love.
Oh,
how are you?
Lovely.
Good, thank you.
Now, you're an expert in wine. What about the kitchen? Are you quite good and experimental when you get out in the kitchen?
I am quite experimental, yes. But I like things that are nice, quick and easy to do as well.
Right, so lots of wok things, nice and something
lots
you
of
just
fish,
throw in
lots
there.
of veg, yeah.
Oh, really? That's good. It's good for the diet too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you a good cook?
I'm not bad, yes.
Good.
Well, we'll find out. Let's have a look at your bag then.
She says.
There we are. Yeah, I know. You've dug a hole for yourself now, haven't you? We're going to see you chop up an onion and a slice, all that type of stuff. Lovely gourmet bag, I can see. What a lovely piece of salmon.
Bag.
Absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about this then.
Okay, I got some salmon. As I said, I like cooking fish.
Yeah, lovely.
So I got some nice organic salmon, and I love sweet potato. And I thought I'd chuck in the patty pans just for a bit of a challenge.
For our chefs.
So you could do with those.
Yeah, you can certainly do
nice
something.
Bit of colour.
And these are miniature red onions, aren't they?
They're organic onions, yeah, so they're slightly smaller.
Wonderful.
A bit of asparagus.
Very, very organic then. How much did you spend?
$9.99.
$9.99. Penny out of it.
Nice bag.
Good?
Nice
You're happy?
bag, yeah,
I can see your juices flowing. You're thinking, oh, I can really do something with this. Hey, I just know. I just know. You just know sometimes, don't you? You just know.
Yeah.
And you just also know that we're about to meet a colleague of yours that you work with, another wine expert, ladies and gentlemen. You'll find out lots of useful information. What goes with what over Christmas. Here she is from South East London, Lois Orison. Hello. Welcome to the show. I got that right. Yeah, wonderful.
Hi, good to meet you.
Oh, goody good. Now, we've got over there, she's talking about the idea of, being a particularly good cook. Do you put yourself in the same kind of league?
I'm sort of like, I've been cooking all my life, so I don't know if I'm good, but I've always been cooking and people eat my food.
Right, so you feel quite passionate about it and comfortable with it.
Yeah.
That's half the problem, though, isn't it, Lois? It's just making you feel that I'm at ease in the kitchen as opposed to...
My kitchen, so yeah, definitely.
Wonderful. Well, let's have a look at your bag and see what
Augurs
Ross can
well.
create with this little lot. OK, right, now, we'll get rid of that. Oh, so that's a nice couple of chicken breasts there.
They're organic chicken breasts. Some organic baby corn, some munchatu and sugar snap peas, because I really like crunchy vegetables, not soggy cabbage and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm really into kind of Thai food, so I thought I'd get some lemongrass and peppers in there as well.
Sure. And rice, how much did you spend?
I spent £9.57.
£9.57. And onions, white onion too. A lot of people see these, don't they? They see them in the supermarkets and they get a little bit like, I'm not too sure how it tastes. Is it a cross between garlic? So Ross will tell us all about that. You happy with the bag there,
Yeah,
Ross?
great. We can go in all sorts of directions with that.
Lovely. Well, you have a chat and I'll come back and see you both in a moment.
Super.
OK, over to you now, Naomi. And Phil, what are you going to do, Phil?
Right, we're going to do 3 salmon dishes. We're going to do real old-fashioned salmon roes. We used to make them as garnishes years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Steam that with a salsa, tomato salsa. We're then going to do a red-hot, sort of spicy, blackened Cajun-style salmon. And we're going to do a salmon stew with asparagus with...
sweet potato.
Sweet potato mash, do some tempura, bits and pieces.
And how are the old patty
I'm going to just blanch them and deep fry them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. And have you ever used those before?
I haven't, no.
No, because it's something that people do see in supermarkets and greengrocers, and they like kind of think, oh, it's a bit out of my
yeah, and they are
range.
delicious. They're really delicious.
Absolutely fantastic. A little bit bland in taste. You do need to introduce flavour to it,
This is
don't
what
you?
you've got to put flavour into it.
Lovely. Okay, happy with that choice?
Yes, very.
3 different types of salmon? I say. Talk about a Christmas treat. Now, what's going to be under your tree in a moment?
Feels a bit flash, doesn't he? I think we'll have to sort of see one, play one, I think. Now, these chicken breasts are really rather large, so we've got plenty to play with there. It struck me that the skin's so large, it'd be quite nice to take all the flesh out and expose the bone and make a little bit of a parcel, put some minced chicken back in it and deep fry them.
Oh,
we
lovely.
take some of the
It's almost like a ballatine of chicken, isn't it?
Yes, a bit like that, but we don't have time to poach and cook and stuff, so
Okay.
we'll do a little sort of parcel thing. I have done this before, wrapped in foil and stuff, and we didn't quite get them cooked. So we'll deep fry those. We're going to take some more of the mince. We're going to make a Thai salad with some shredded mangetout peppers and onions and garlic and lemongrass. And in fact, Lolis was saying, how do you know how much of the lemongrass to use? The trick is, like asparagus, that bit is good, that bit's not. So... we're going to make some
His kitchen's got lemongrass all over the kitchen floor.
It's cheaper than lino. We're going to make some spiced rice stuffed peppers, and we're going to make chicken and sweet corn soup. So it's Christmassy in as much as it's got a festive Chinesey sort of feel to it.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, we're going to China with Ross. How does that sound to you?
Sounds lovely.
You're delighted with that, aren't you? And of course, ladies and gentlemen, lots of wine information too from our expert. Let's get them started. When I say ready, steady, cook.
Go.
Now, here we go. All right, matey. Now, isn't that a lovely bit of salmon, eh?
I'll tell you what.
That's what you want, isn't it, Phil?
Okay.
Really delicious.
Right, well, I had a bit of sea bass 2 weeks ago, and it's fantastic.
You had a bit of sea bass, what?
Here.
Yeah.
And I don't get much fish, so it's quite nice. You want that?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Peeler. Here we go. So your knives are over there. Your peeler is. Your peeler is.
There's a peeler just over here, Phil.
Oh yeah.
There we are.
I've been
There are 2
doing it
different
for 6
types
years.
of peeler. There you go. And
Right.
I've got some knives here for you. Let's help you out here, Lois.
So
That's it. There we are.
A bit of a nightmare the first
Here
couple.
we are. How about that, Amy? You happy with that? Okay. Now that one's kind of the well, do it which way you want. Actually, you're very comfortable with it. How often do you cook? Do you cook sort of once a week, or do you tend to eat out a lot more than?
I probably eat out about once a week, but I cook quite a lot. Cook like nearly every night.
Yeah.
So,
And are you cooking? You cook with it? You got flatmates, or
yeah,
you
I've got a
with?
flatmate. We cook for each other as well.
Yeah. That's
And
kind of
we have
nice, though,
friends
isn't it?
around as well.
Yeah.
We cook for them too.
Well, I think that really that teaches you a lot more, doesn't it? It gives you a lot more confidence because if it's the same person, they kind of get used to that type of food.
Exactly.
But lots of different people,
Yeah.
it just helps you. Do you find that, Phil?
What's that, Ames?
If you have lots of people come round to eat, it extends you a little bit, but it gives you a lot more confidence.
Yeah, but the trouble is though, when people come around our house, they expect sort of gourmet food. You must have the same problem.
Well,
and I just want to have sausage and mash and trifle and stuff like that.
Well, but your sausage and mash, which I'll try, is fantastic.
Yeah, I
isn't it?
know, but it's
What's the
just,
difference?
you just want to end up chilling out. And I'll never get invited out anyway.
Didn't you?
No, they're all worried about, oh, come around to my house because you've only cooked, so...
Oh, Phil, I didn't know that, mate.
Yeah, I always find cooking for a family, it's just, by the time you get home, if I'm home at 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
then you cook for the kids, and before you know it, it's 8 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think
I'm
it's
not going to
keep it-
Chinese.
Do you know what I often do? Simple, or sometimes I cook a lot of food and I freeze
Yeah.
it. So I just take it
Yeah.
out in the morning, and you can just,
Yeah.
especially if you've got the bases of a sauce or something like mince is particularly good, or stews or something like that. And then you can make your dumplings and stuff. There's not so much
That's a
pressure.
good point, actually. But it's just getting organised, though. I don't get
Yeah.
time. No.
Yeah.
Right, now, can we just quick chat to each other?
Yeah, of course you can.
Making a hot salsa really quickly. I'm just going to warm these cherry tomatoes in a pan.
Yeah.
To that, I'm going to add 1 chopped red onion.
Yeah.
And let it sit for about 10 minutes. Loads and loads of olive oil, a little bit of chilli in there, and lots of coriander. And that is it. That's all I need to do.
Right.
And I'll just get this on the go. That's
Okay.
about enough heat there, actually, Andy.
And do you put any vinegar or wine or
I might put
anything?
a touch in, perhaps a touch of wine later.
Yeah.
But I want to just do this quickly so I can show you the
Yeah.
salmon roes.
All right.
Now, as an apprentice, we was always taught to do these as garnishes, as I said already.
Yeah.
So I'll keep that nice one there.
3 minutes gone already.
And what we used to do is we just cut this out here like this. Take the skin off,
Yeah.
and then cut as thin as possible.
Now, I saw you remove that end, but you're not too worried about it because it's quite fatty, that
quite
bit.
fatty. The grey part
All
is
right,
quite
ladies and
fatty.
gentlemen, that you saw Phil do that, you probably say, oh, why do you throw that away? That little bit can be a little bit fatty, so don't concern yourself too much.
What you should do
is
is beat it out really fine with a mallet. But what you need is just get your salmon like this and start it off, fold it around so it looks like the middle of a rose, like that.
Yeah.
Just push the centre up slightly, then cut another piece, and then put that around and slightly outside the first one.
Poach, steam, fry.
I'm going to half poach it, half bake it.
Okay.
And as you get a bit further round, you can put it on the chopping board like this, and then, like when you're making the sugar roses, just fold the tops over like that.
Peel it back a little bit more.
Yeah, and then
Have you seen this?
It'll
Look at
poach.
this, Naomi.
It'll poach in about 10 minutes. See?
It's quite pretty, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's-
And it actually cooks like that. Now, what
Cooks
about
like
you? Also gave a tip the other day about the protein coming out when it goes a little bit white. How do you know? How can you control
Right.
it? 'Cause if it goes a little bit white, it looks a bit yucky, doesn't
Right,
it?
protein, as soon as the white, milky white sort of substance comes out of any fish, it's the protein which has been cooked, which is changing colour. Once it gets to that point, generally speaking, it's overcooked.
Yeah.
So take it out before that happens and leave it, and residual heat will finish it off perfectly.
Absolutely.
Okay?
And we're talking literally 3 or 4
Oh,
minutes.
yeah,
or
this
something
will
like that.
take probably about
Not
8
long.
minutes.
Don't overcook your fish. That's why a lot of us get put off by cooking fish. We overcook
There,
it.
see, can I show you this?
Now, what would you serve with this type of thing then, in terms of wine then, Naomi?
Oh, yeah.
Probably, it depends what we're doing with it. If it was going, if it's just like that, I'd probably do a Chardonnay, something like that.
Yeah.
Or a Viognier might go with it as well.
Oh, I'm
Or
going
we could
to
do
put a
light
salsa
red.
with it, though. So.
A nice
salsa.
light red. Now, what about a light red? Because we talk in terms of like the Cabernet Sauvignon, so Sauvignon, I should say. That is quite a strong, powerful
more, yeah,
red.
it is.
So, what would be a light red? What grape would we be looking for?
And Merlot would probably go really
Merlot. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a bit softer.
Light red. If you want a nice light red to accompany a fish or something like that, a Merlot.
Goes nice with fish and chicken, poultry, roast,
Okay.
roast chicken. Merlot goes nice with as well.
Beautiful. Well, we'll talk again. You've been in the wine industry for a while now.
Long
A
time.
couple of years.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. OK, Phil,
Thank
thanks
you.
very much. That 5 minutes gone, guys. All right, now, Chef, you talked in terms of just chopping, take the meat off and chopping it up a little bit, didn't you?
Exactly. Because in fact, although these are lovely breasts, but you know, chicken mince is quite cheap.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of mincing it. Now, there's an old Chinese technique,
Yeah.
which is with 2 cleavers.
Yeah.
Stand back.
Oh, very nice.
Okay, the idea is we're going to take some of that and make it into what's called a larb, which is a northern Thai salad where you cook the meat really, really well, make it nice and crunchy.
Okay.
Some of it's going to go into our rice stuffed peppers. Some of it's going to go into the salads and Bob's Wrangle. There you go.
Now, if you haven't got a couple of big choppers like you, what would you use?
I would suggest that you just buy mince, or you put it through a mincer, or you can put it in your food processor, but don't over-process it to mush.
So quick, like a pulse it almost.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit of water, because sometimes it gets a little bit, it sticks around the edge, it doesn't shred enough. So just a little splash of water in there. Lovely. Now, you're having chicken today, Lois. What would you serve with that then?
Chicken's a really versatile meat when it comes to wine. You can do white wines with it. It depends what kind of sauce you put with it. You might use a red wine. So if it's a really kind of fatty thing, any dry white wine is going to be great because it cuts through all the fat. So like a Chardonnay, Viognier, if it's kind of slightly more spiced.
Yeah.
But if it's kind of a big, like tomatoey sauce, so Italian wines like Sangiovese and stuff go really well with them. So
Chianti
kind of
or
like
something
light,
like
or if it's a really powerful sauce, even a Shiraz from Australia or California. Yeah.
And what about sort of New World wines? How do they compare to French wines? Because I think they're some people say a lot more approachable. You need a lot more knowledge with French wines. Is that the case?
I mean, basically, it's kind of, when you go to the supermarket and there's like loads of wines, you're thinking, oh my God, what shall I buy?
Yeah,
and
13.
And then, so you're looking at the shelf and you're thinking, what can I get? What did I have at my friend's house? And I can't remember what that Chateau de something is called. It's a lot easier if you know, oh, I enjoyed Merlot last time, I enjoyed Shiraz, I'll go for that again.
Yeah.
So,
But
and
there's
the
20
New World,
bottles with Shiraz written on
yeah,
it.
the New World, I mean, you might like Australian, or you might like Californian, or you might like New Zealand. A lot of the New Zealand, you might like a lot of the Sauvignon Blancs and stuff from New Zealand are great. So basically, it's just a little bit more approachable. The labels tend to be more fun. And they're not snobby, so everybody can go and buy a really
And do you
nice
think
bottle of wine.
supermarkets could do a little bit more in terms of introducing wines to people? Do you think they should have a little sort of tastings? I know you're probably going to get people who go in there and just going to get drunk on it, but do you think they could perhaps do that?
Lots of supermarkets do tastings now, and quite a few supermarkets have like wine advisors.
Yeah.
So don't feel scared to like go in and say, I had this wine at my mate's house the other night. I really enjoyed it. can you recommend something similar that I can try at home?
Yeah.
And they're always willing to help. Don't be scared to ask, because you're the customer. You know,
and they want your business.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Lovely. We'll talk again. What about you, Ross? Are you quite good in terms of going up and speaking to advisors about, or people about wine, or are you knowledgeable enough?
Well, I know a little bit about it, but, you know, it comes down to, you know, I might have liked it last time. Was the vintage as good or whatever? I think we should always be, you know, aware that we can always ask for help. So that's our little parcels.
And tell us what... OK, now that is the... I can see coriander, sesame seed...
Chicken, garlic and soy.
Yeah. Any honey in there, Chef?
No, that's going to be for later.
OK, there we are.
Lovely.
That's your little bits of ingredients later on. You can imagine that, your chicken, all of that's mixed together, and that's put back inside the skin. And will that be deep fried or poached or what?
It's going to be deep fried in there. Ideally, I would have steamed it and then pan fried it, but we don't have time.
OK, 11 minutes to go. All right, now, there's a little, it's just the... mange tout that's been shredded, is it?
Yeah, I've just blanched them in a little hot water and salt to give them that colour. Yeah. To fix the colour, otherwise they're a little dull. Okay. I've got some spare ones if you need some, Phil.
OK.
Yeah, if you mind, Ross.
A few mange tous, certainly. So.
Lovely.
He's such a fine man, it's always a pleasure.
OK, anything else cooking here at the moment?
No, not yet. I'm
all right, and the rice, so that's the rice just cooked in water at the moment?
Yeah, that's right. I'm just going to fry some of the chicken for the lard.
OK, I'll come back and see you.
Thanks, Ainsley.
OK, no problem. All right, Chef, we've got a bit of spiced salmon cooking here, as I see. And what type of spices on here, Phil?
We have got in there, we have got the section here, there we go, cumin, ground mixed spice, oregano and whole coriander.
What, a teaspoon of each or what?
About a teaspoon and a half, possibly.
OK.
And what we've done is we've just whizzed it up in the grinder.
Yeah.
And put it onto the skin, I put it on both sides, but what I really want to do is cook it on the skin. Can you empty that into a bowl, which is there?
Halfway now, guys.
Well, there.
OK, and those asparagus spears, what's happening there? They're just going to be blanched?
They're these rest of the stalks, which actually, they come off now.
Yeah, OK. All right, that's just sweet potato just cooking down.
Which I want to make a puree out of. Okay. And then what we're going to do is season the mash with soy sauce.
Yeah.
Because soy, what do they call it? Sweet potato.
Yeah.
In this pan here.
What do you want, caster sugar and what in there?
Just caster sugar and yoghurt, so the whole pot of yoghurt, and the same amount of white wine vinegar.
Oh, lovely.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, and I'm glad. Phil's glad too.
I'll tell you what, it's nice to have people give you under cook. Right, Ains, and now what I'm also going to do here, I've cooked this salmon here in the oven, uncovered, with the asparagus, and that is still undercooked.
Right, you can see it's slightly pink, isn't it, the salmon? But that will continue to cook now, won't it?
That will continue to cook, and now I'm going to put the juices back on here and finish out the cream, make a very, very light stew.
There you go. Phil's a great lover, the residual heat, ladies and gentlemen, especially where fish is concerned. You don't need to overcook it. You take it off your pan, let it rest, and Bob's your uncle.
That salmon, if you can see, it's just starting to go quite milky underneath there. Yeah. Actually, you can see it there, I think.
Yeah, OK.
And that's nearly ready to turn over. Actually, turn over right now.
Here we are.
And then I'm going to leave it on the other spices, like that.
Shall I turn down the heat?
Turn it off, Ains, turn it off.
OK.
There's enough heat there to finish that.
OK.
Perfect.
Lovely.
Right, and we need a bit of salt and pepper in there.
There we are. Let me help you out here. A little bit of salt and pepper going on. Here we are.
Stir up.
A bit of that in there. So what have you got planned for Christmas then, Naomi?
I will be just spending with my family and friends, staying at home.
Yeah.
My parents live quite close, so I'll be going to see them. My brother will come down as well, so nice family Christmas.
It is. Good time to get in. You're not one of those families that get together and have a row, are you?
Never,
You all get on?
No, yeah,
really?
we do. Yeah, play silly games, all that.
Yeah.
My dad tells us stupid jokes, and it's always quite a laugh.
And now, what about sort of drinks over the festive season? Do you rely on Mum and Dad to go out and do that, or do they rely on you being the pro?
No, they completely rely on me. My dad was the happiest man when he found out I got a job for a wine company.
Right.
That was it. He was set. Yeah. And so they always ask me, which is nice because I get to share what I know with them.
Sure. And what about champagne? Should people go for champagnes or like a vintage or sparkling wines can be quite good too?
Champagne can be quite. I mean, champagne's quite expensive, especially a vintage champagne is very expensive. So if they can go for a non-vintage, it brings the price down.
Yeah.
Or a sparkling wine, Carver. Supermarket own are quite good as well.
Yeah.
So,
I know. Well, they do because they sell such a large quantity of it, don't they? Fantastic. All right, now you actually got Millennium. Something special happened at the Millennium.
I don't know if it was special, but yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, go on.
I was in France. I was snowboarding with a group of 35 people for the Millennium.
Yeah.
So I was really looking I've been so excited because usually on New Year's Day you do absolutely nothing. You just lay in bed. And I wanted to do something.
Yeah.
So we'd all gone snowboarding. And we sat down for our millennium meal about 10 o'clock at night, and came first. It's like £50 a head meal.
Yeah.
Came along, and the starter.
£50 a head. Wow.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Yeah.
And the starter was a great big plate of shellfish. So it was like scallops and mussels and prawns and stuff.
Yeah.
So after I'd eaten that, about 15 minutes, that's when I realised I was probably allergic to shellfish.
Did you just feel a little bit... How did you react? Did you feel wobbly, love?
I was a bit wobbly, yeah.
Really? Did the knees go?
They did go.
Yeah?
And, yes, I was quite ill.
Allergies are something else, aren't they?
Have you never eaten shellfish before?
I had it before, but I wasn't quite sure if it was food poisoning or whether I was allergic to it. So.
6 minutes to go now, guys. I've got that there for you, Phil.
Thank you.
OK, thanks for sharing that with us. Lovely. You won't eat shellfish again then, will you?
No, I won't.
That's one of those things. All right, then. And what was that in? What type of batter?
Just a very light celebrating flour batter. Look at the colour, Ains. Look at that.
Yeah, and what's that colour come from? The turmeric or
turmeric, yeah. Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that.
Lovely. That looks like those lovely Indian toffees, don't they? Looks beautiful.
Well,
lovely, vibrant colour on there. Fantastic. All right, I'll come back and see you. I want to see what you do with that potato. How's it going over here, Chef?
I don't know where the time's gone, Ainsley.
I know. We're about 5.5 minutes now. Time's really kind of moved on. Yeah, lovely. Now, we've got the chicken cooking there, but most people end up with turkey. So what do you drink with your turkey?
Well, I like a really nice Zinfandel with my turkey. Because turkey, although it's a white meat, is actually quite big and meaty.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people, it's quite a strong flavour.
Strong flavours in it, and also you're putting the gravy, you're putting the cranberry sauce, and all. So Zinfandel's great. It's like really jammy. It's not too full-bodied. It's like medium-bodied, and you can have red wine with white meat.
And tell us about how much you should pay for a wine. Now, I know that a lot of money that people pay on wine goes on tax, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it really is worth it. You're getting something for $3.99. A lot of that is going on tax. You're not getting much real wine for your money. Less than 5 minutes. Sorry.
You pay like VAT, and you pay customs and excise duty on every bottle of wine you buy. So if the wine costs $3.99, you're paying more tax part of your money.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if you're paying $6.99, then you're actually getting more wine for your money.
Yes.
And that's basically spend what you can because you're generally getting something better. That's the reason why it's that price. So.
And if it's really cheap, you're going to have a serious hangover. If it's really expensive, the hangover doesn't normally hang around, does it?
You can still get a hangover, and that's why organic wines are good because the sulphur in them.
Yeah.
That's what gives you the hangover as well as the alcohol is the sulphur. So it's quite cool to go organic if you can.
Right. And you go organic. You live in Peckham, don't you? They've got a fantastic farmers market in Peckham of all places, and it's so cheap.
It is, it's brilliant, and you get to meet the guy that made that meat that you're going to have on Sunday.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Get out to your market sometimes and give them a bit of support too. All right, now, Ross, absolutely flying. Can I help you in anything here?
Yeah, I just need to... Oops, I need to skim out. We need the skimmer thing.
OK.
A fine skimmer. Do you have a fine skimmer?
What about... is that any good? Or do you want the label?
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Is that OK? Can I get you something to drain that on? You happy? Yeah, that's fine. And where do you want the cornflour water in there, Chef?
Yes, please, just to thicken it up. It's getting a bit thicker there.
OK.
That's not really working, is it?
That's it. Just stir that round.
Just pop that in.
Yeah, stir it round. You pop it in. That's it. That will thicken that up.
Where's the garlic gone? Where's my garlic gone?
Garlic, you might need a little bit more. 3 minutes to go.
OK.
A little bit more cornflour. A little bit more cornflour. Yeah, we just need to get that a tad thicker. OK, everything's going in here. Can I get you any herbs or anything?
Yes, no, that's right, I've got it. I've got some chives in there, a bit of rice.
We're flying now, ladies and gentlemen. This is really what happens. Everything kicks up. Are you quite good then? Do you go for the organic wines? Are you just kind of New World? Are you more inclined to go down the New Zealand route? Or?
I like a bit of everything, frankly. So I tend to... It depends what you drink. I still think France produces some of the best. But also a lot of the New World ones are fantastic. So.
Sure. Absolutely right. This is looking... is that about the thickness that you want in there, Ross?
A bit thicker, actually. Make it nice and creamy for us.
Flour, love. Here, we'll keep going. Here we are. Got it here, darling. I know. We'll take the old jar out in a minute, don't we? There we are. Put a bit of water. Go on. Actually, you've got some rice in the sink here, Ross. I don't know what's that for.
A little bit of rice in there, please, last
love. That's it. Make sure it's not too hot, Lois. Lois, sorry.
Just a bit, or the whole lot?
There we are. OK,
just a little, and it's going to be stuffing our peppers, thanks.
2 minutes to go now, guys. Really, time is absolutely flying by now. This is what happens.
Right,
It's just like Christmas Day in the kitchen, isn't it? Oh, I'm never going to finish. Oh, someone's at the door.
Oh, I forgot to put the roasties on.
There we are. Lovely. OK, then. Now, Christmas is a bit of a special time in your life because you're married this year, but last Christmas Eve there was a proposal, wasn't there?
Yeah.
How was it? You were sitting around there having dinner, candlelight, then what happened?
Well, it was just like supper in our living room in Peckham, nothing like glamorous. And I'd made a new recipe.
Yeah, 1.5 minutes. Yeah.
And halfway through, I thought Martin was on the floor looking for his fork. I'm like, what are you doing on the floor? And he's like, no, I'm proposing. Oh, right.
Hey, what are you doing down there? I want you to marry me.
I thought he was mucking around, but he wasn't. So.
And did you say yes?
Yeah.
And did the food go cold after that?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. Oh, wonderful. And this year it's off to the parents with the married man.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Have a fantastic time. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Both of you, thanks for sharing your knowledge. But time is moving on, coming up for 45 seconds now, guys. OK, ladies and gentlemen, remember, you know, these chefs started off with raw ingredients less than 20 minutes ago, and they're producing fabulous food, so take that into consideration when you're voting. Lots of creativity here. Absolutely wonderful. 30 seconds, that's it, yeah, put that over there.
Can you decorate the chicken legs for me?
Right, keep this going now, let's get this food out there.
Ladle.
Sorry. Ladle. That's it. Audience, get ready to help me count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop! OK, and the food looks absolutely wonderful, and information about wine too. Let me remind you of what our chefs had in their bag. Phil had organic salmon, sweet potatoes, red onion, asparagus, tomatoes and patty pans. And Ross had organic chicken, lemongrass, sugar snap peas, red pepper, rice, baby corn and a white onion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd probably refer to this as the alternative Christmas feast because it looks fantastic, and I think we're about to find out how it tastes. You ready for this?
I am indeed.
Thanks for bringing along your organic wines, by the way, guys. It was really, really nice of you, so we'll have a glass of that. So get stuck in, please, Naomi, and what about a name?
Right. Well, I only came up with this, so if you moan, it's my idea. But it was, here's to a very, very wine Christmas.
Wine Christmas?
Yeah. You're not good, is it? I couldn't think of anything else.
I know. No, I don't think you should have said anything then, Phil.
Thanks, Ains.
But here's to a wine Christmas.
Anyway, just move on.
Tell us what you did.
Right, so it started here. Blackened salmon, lots of spices, which were oregano, coriander seeds, mixed spice, and also ground cumin seeds. You grind them up really to a big, really pungent powder. Spread it on the skin and also the other side. Cook it in red-hot fat or oil for about 5 minutes and leave it to rest so actually residual heat will cook through. Yeah. The mash is made with just boiling up sweet potatoes, but you season it rather than with salt with soy sauce. It's really nice, works well with fish. And you can see the fish is just cooked.
It looks lovely and pink and luscious.
A spicy sort of sweet and sour yoghurt dressing for that.
20 seconds.
Salmon roes, salsa, steamed, as you can see there, the protein's started to come out. A quick chicken stew with asparagus and cream, and tempura-style vegetables with turmeric and a bit of the dressing. Wow. And the wine is delicious. So.
That's lovely.
Yeah, well, you've tried these all now. I mean, can you imagine that you could do so much with one little bit of salmon?
No, not at all.
Yeah? Has he given you some lovely ideas?
Yeah, I especially like this.
Yeah?
I might try that at home.
That
very simple as well.
There. And just on that very kind of simple salsa, because that's what it is, isn't it? It's drawing flavours out, introducing flavours all the time. Very, very colourful indeed. Delighted?
Yes, very much so.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very nice. Well, she's happy over there, Lois, and so you get stuck in, girl. That's what I say. Now, what about a name then, Ross?
Well, this bird's got plenty of bottle.
Very nice. And tell us what you did with that bird.
Well, we took the bird, the breast of the bird, and we skinned them, and then we filled them with this mixture of chicken and coriander and sesame seeds and garlic and what have you, and fried them. I made a little dipping sauce with soy and honey and sesame. Yeah. So the rest of the chicken we minced up and we fried it. Now, some of the fried stuff went into a type of salad that has fried garlic and fried lemongrass to make it really intense and crunchy. Yeah. With mint and coriander and the mange tout and the red pepper.
Absolutely lovely. Look at that.
The rest of it went into the stuffed pepper stuff with mint, which also has coriander and tra-la-la, and then we made a classic Chinese sweet corn and chicken soup. So we've got sort of, 4 different dishes from all over Asia.
Very nice indeed. Have you got a favourite amongst these?
I really love this chicken. It's like fried chicken with a difference. It's wicked. It's got like that. You can really taste the spices coming through. And this is great because how much not like a salad. That's brilliant.
I know, and the mint
Yeah,
is fantastic.
really cool.
It's very refreshing on the palate, isn't it?
Sesame seeds and stuff,
Lovely.
yeah.
Well, absolutely delighted, ladies and gentlemen. Both of our wine experts are. But what do our studio audience think? Will they go for the green peppers or the red tomatoes? Let's find out. Will you all please vote now? And up they go. And I have to say, this is very close. But there's one more green pepper! There you go. Congratulations to you. Thanks so much for coming on the show. £100 spending money there for you. I hope you have a lovely Christmas day with your parents.
And you.
And all the family come down there and all the wines consumed.
Are we going?
We'll be having
Yeah, I think we will do. It'll be quite nice. Yeah, I'll be asking you what you're up to next. Thank you so much for coming on. You enjoyed it?
Yeah, very much so.
Great, excellent. And thank you too, Lois. It was lovely to see you. And it's just nice to know, give people some direction as to what to drink and stuff like that.
Don't be scared.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, you're not scared, and of course Ross wasn't scared because I thought this was very creative, some really lovely food here. Thank you so much, Ross.
Always a pleasure.
And we've got a lovely hamper to send home, a ready steady cook hamper. Cool. Well, you might even put a bit of Christmas pudding there for you, darling. Who knows? Yeah, do come and join us. Once again, it's time for our Quickie bag. In the meantime, let's say a very big thank you to our wine experts, Naomi and Lois. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Oh! Wow, look, it's like Christmas, a really big one here. Well, we've got a nice big bag of spinach. And what else? I say. Well, that's probably what was a little bit heavy. We've got some nice fresh oysters there. I think that's always a treat. Smoked salmon, cream cheese, a little bottle of brandy, and oh, look. Champagne cocktail.
We'll just drink
there
that,
we
actually.
are. I think we will do. We're going to have a bit of fun
everything
today. And some Parmesan cheese. OK, boys. Lots on offer there. Classic dishes, combinations. But what would you do with it? How would you bring it alive?
Big man. Off you go.
Well, it's almost a shame. I mean, they look so lovely. It's almost a shame to cook them, really. But I guess that's what we're here for. I think we could probably do, as we've got 6, do 2 Florentine. Mm-hmm.
Which are what? Give us an idea.
On spinach with a cheese sauce.
Yeah.
2 wrapped in smoked salmon, and 2 with the champagne Sauvignon.
Lovely. Very good indeed.
And then we can fight over one each.
And the cream cheese, how might that feature?
That might feature in a little smoked salmon roulade to garnish the centre of the plate.
OK, well, that sounds absolutely delicious, Ross. But what about you then, Phil?
I'll do whatever Ross wants me to do.
I wouldn't invite him.
I, like Ross, think that these should be kept completely raw because I think they're wonderful. But in this instance, I think we'll just do a champagne Sauvignon to go on 6 of them. We'll do smoked salmon rolls, and we might do a bit of drinking here, and possibly put some roulade and bits and pieces, I think. Spinach roulade, possibly.
A little spinach roulade?
Yeah, possibly with the smoked salmon as well.
The cheese and rolled up.
Yeah.
OK, well, there you have it. Is it going to be Ross's red tomato or Phil's green pepper? Let's find out. Studio audience, will you all please vote now? And up they go. Oh, I like that. They like the idea that he does it in 2s. There we are. OK, let's get cooking! OK, your 10-minute cooking time starts now. Let's do it. OK, what are we doing here?
OK, we've got one for the spinach, make the Sauvignon.
OK, we've got some cocktails there too, so we can get those going in a moment.
Do you want to grate that cheese?
A little bit of brown
please.
sugar.
Do you want it all done, Ross?
OK, a bit of smoked salmon. Let's get this going.
Ross, do you want it all grated?
Yes, please, because I'll use a little for the cheese sauce. Go on,
Do you like Christmas time then, Ross? Are you a big fan?
Yeah, and the funny thing is that, will you? The funny thing is that when you're in the trade,
Yeah.
you...
Yeah, mate, yeah. You got the wrong one on, you silly moon. Here you go.
See, the cooking's easy. It's just working out how those things work.
Yeah.
When you're in a trade, I've worked more Christmases than I've had myself, so you tend to sort of enjoy stuff at that time. But it's all that giving stuff. I think it's really nice.
Yeah. What do you like to give then, Ross?
Sorry?
What do you like to give?
It's an oldie, but it's a goodie.
Depends where it's going, mate.
This is very good.
OK, 1 minute.
Lead me not into the valley of the temptation. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. You're so naughty.
I know, so are you. There we are. Look at this. I've got 2. I might just use that one there.
We need 2 oyster smoked salmon wrapped oysters.
They'll be fine in there, I promise you. That will look absolutely tremendous. How are you doing there, Phil?
I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just playing around.
You can't play around. You've got a wife now.
Oh, look at this. Christmas festivities, I don't know.
Ross, you're so sharp, you'll cut yourself one day.
And that'd be such a shame, wouldn't it, Phil?
Yeah. And I'm going to be there when you do. Right, I'm going to make some Parmesan crisps.
Oh, lovely. Tell us how that's done, then.
Just melted Parmesan, nice and thin.
Yeah.
Baking parchment, touch of black pepper, in the oven. Takes about 6 minutes. The secret is to make sure they're really
that's okay.
spread out nice and thin.
Champagne. Yeah, I'm sure you did have a good time there.
I'm not going to bother. There you go, Ross. So we'll do these oysters for you.
Thanks, mate.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, if you could, that'd be super.
All right, Ross,
Oysters.
remind us what we're doing here.
You're making a roulade.
Yeah.
I'm cooking some spinach. We're making a sabayon and a cheese sauce. We're making some drinks later.
All right.
Plenty of time.
Plenty. Right, I'm
And this bag really does lend itself to so many different things.
Chives.
Wonderful.
We've got oyster knife here.
Oysters or knife, I think it's on your side, isn't it? That's the last time I saw one.
All right, and what are you looking for there? What are you lot having a good old chuckle about?
I'll tell your wife.
It's not wine. Oh, here it is. Right.
There we are.
So I'll just talk about his oysters quickly, Ainsley.
Sorry?
Shall I talk about his oysters?
Yeah, tell us about them. You go ahead.
When you have an oyster, what you need are an oyster knife or a screwdriver. Screwdriver normally goes through your hand, so be very careful. And a cloth. Essentially use a cloth. 2 ways to open them. You can either go in this part here, which is in the side of the oyster shell, but if you're not careful, that tends to mash up the oyster shell, get little bits of shell everywhere. I tend to go in the hinge right there like that. That way you get a clean break. So if you're going to do it that way around. And what we do is put it into there like that, hold it with the other side of the cloth, be careful because it will go in your hand. Put the knife in, just move it around slightly on the hinge, twist it like that, and lift it off. As you lift it off halfway, you'll see the oyster comes out. You then just need to take the mustard off the shell. That's it, done. And just make sure there's no mess in there, like that. Make sure you just move that muscle like that, and there you go.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for that.
How many do you need? One. I'll eat the rest.
Palette knife here, Chef.
Yeah, should be there.
Yeah, should be there. Lovely.
So made a nice Parmesan cheesy sauce there. Got this is nice and steamed.
Okay.
Great thing about oysters is they're all, if you do cook them, they cook very quickly. They're also rather nice poached in a broth.
Really?
Very nice. Saffron broth, a few spring vegetables.
And are they because of the zinc content, that's why people consider them aphrodisiacs, don't
Indeed they are. Do you know, the Roman Empire, the Romans came to Britain for oysters.
Really?
Yep. They wanted the pearls.
Ah.
And they actually used it for currency, didn't they? They used them as currency?
Indeed. Because they hadn't quite got around to sort of trading with China, so that freshwater pearls.
And what do you use them for? Or how do you
Jewellery.
tell? How do you choose one of them, boys? What's the secret?
Well, pearl?
No, of choosing a good oyster.
Should be really heavy. Really heavy in weight.
How many oysters do you want with the salmon around it?
2, please.
Okay.
Well, can I take mine first? Oh, never mind. So I have to put mine in the oven.
Okay.
Are you taking the right side off, Phil?
Yes.
I don't want to disparage at all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good.
Yeah. Can I have another one then, Phil?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Just when you can, in your own time.
Yeah. What about the eggs? Are we doing anything?
You won it anyway. You won anyway. Did you?
What?
You won it anyway. You won the 10-minute bag. I'll do it.
Phil, show us your oyster.
No.
You better give them some champagne first.
You had a chance.
4 minutes to go, guys. There we are.
There's a little spinach there if you want for the roulade.
Oh, all right. Well, I've actually I can serve it now.
You couldn't be bothered, could you? No.
No. Do you want a little bit of spinach in here with the? Here we are. Let's just line this up here. That's it. So we have a little line of that. That'll be really quite nice, wouldn't it? There we are. Beautiful. Okay, 1 oyster inside. Let's just get a little bit of pepper.
Ainsley, how long have we got?
About 3.5 minutes. Yeah, we're just rolling that over, tucking that in there like that. Now, there we are. It's lovely with a little bit of the old spinach in there. Okay, and we've got the spinach and the oyster going in there. You can hardly see the oyster, but that's fine.
Any mixture of that anyway? Any mixture of
now, what other type of shellfish would we use for this, guys?
Scallops would be good. Yep. Mussels are a little coarse, really.
3 minutes to go, by the way.
Razor clams are good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how are we going, chaps?
I'm going to get a cocktail stick through this because I just don't fancy that falling out. So do you have Christmas parties at home, Phil?
Sometimes.
And what would you do? What would you kind of
I'll
little
get very
canopy?
drunk. And
you get drunk, do you?
Yep. And we have lots of food and lots of. I tell you what we normally do is lots of nibbly bits of food. You know, rather than having a specific sit-down meal, I'd much rather have, like the old Indians do. You know, loads of cream cheese that I can use.
Yeah, cream cheese.
You know.
There's that.
I'll use that, Ainsley.
Yeah, go on then.
And we just have a sort of quite relaxed time really, because like you lot, we spend so much time throughout the year rushing around that we You know what I mean? You know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, mate. There we are, I've got a roulade of that.
Sorry.
And now, what am I going on that salt? Is that salt?
No, you're going on the white one, thanks, mate. That's oysters are going on the salt. Do you still have the... No, yeah, that's great.
Can I have your spinach here, lads?
Yeah, go for it.
There we are, spinach oysters there.
No.
What did you want?
Where am I? For goodness sake. The oysters go on here. Thank you. Lovely.
All right, Phil, where's your oysters, mate? Quick.
Give it to him, I've done it all.
The shells. No, I want the shells.
Oh,
One
no.
and a half to go.
No, the roulade's going to go on the white thing. The oysters are going in there.
Dear, what are you washing these for? Look, I've got to wash them out now, Phil. Why do you throw them away for?
I'm trying to help.
There we go.
Yeah, it's
I was only trying to help, mate.
I know, I'm just going for these. There you go. These could be actually much nicer. They chill in the fridge a little bit longer, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be absolutely perfect. I've got to wipe the knife every time. So, is that the lovely cocktail you've got there for me?
There's a champagne cocktail.
Oh, top man.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, my word, help! OK, what went into the cocktail, Ross? Can you give us a quick idea?
Some Demerara sugar, some cognac,
yeah,
and a splash of champagne.
Right then.
Strange enough.
Very nice.
There we are. The simplicity. Bit of lemon here, please. These could be much, much nicer if I could just get that. We'll get some dill on there. OK. OK, lovely. Here we are. OK, this is really lovely, simple food here, ladies and gentlemen, for your party. Christmas party. There we are.
You got a lemon going?
10, 9, 8, oh, there's some wedges. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop cooking!
Oh, mate, look at that.
Well done to you. Phil, congrats, mate. Absolutely fantastic. OK, Ross, what about a name?
Don't be shellfish, oyster time for sharing.
Ah, very nice play of words there. And how did we do it? Let's go back to these lovely... You've got the Florentine there, haven't we?
Exactly. The Florentine, it's the steamed seasoned spinach, the raw oyster on top, the Parmesan cheese sauce, little sauce on there. Then the Sauvignon ones are the Champagne Sauvignon in the shell. They then went under the grill to grill. They could have been a second longer. And these ones you so very cleverly and kindly wrapped in smoked salmon for us with a little chive or whatever.
I know, I put a little bit of spinach in there, actually.
Oh, super, brilliant.
And touch of nutmeg's quite nice with that type of thing, won't you? And over here, it's just a cream cheese roulade. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, you're talking about leaving it in the fridge a lot longer, so it actually firms up lovely. But when it does, you can just slice it very easy. If you want to pop it in the freezer, that sometimes helps. A little squeeze of lemon juice, take it to the table and just do one of those. Come on, Phil, come and have a bit of a try with your champagne. Phil! What is he like? God, dear, let me shove one in his gob over here. Yeah, Phil, there we are. Nice.
Can't hear you.
He's a bit upset, the boy, isn't he? Hey, tell us about that, Phil.
No. I'm not trying to tell you I was over there doing this one. No.
Simple.
It's dead simple. Spinach leaves, touch of cream cheese, salt and pepper, nutmeg, lined it up, made cheese, parmesan crisps, paprika.
Very, very simple, ladies and gentlemen. All of these quick recipes, which are quite nice when people pop over for a Christmas drink, are available on our website. Check that out, bbc.co.uk/food. Until next time here on Ready, Steady, Cook, have a lovely one. See you soon. Bye.
Full of festive cheer, it's Anne Robinson next on BBC Two and Weakest Link. Let Gary Rhodes help you plan for the festive season. In fact, there are tips and recipes from all your favourite chefs at bbc.co.uk/lifestyle. Get the know-how from BBC I.